There's apparently been a huge rise in the number of children and young people being bullied online. New NSPCC data suggests that there's been an 88% increase in cyberbullying over the last 5 years. Social media sites are being urged to do more to tackle the problem. Well, joining us now from Alexandra Palace in North London is Alex Holmes, head of the anti-bullying campaign at the Diana Award. Alex, is it more bullying that's happening, or are children just getting better at reporting it and asking for help about it?
I think that's a really good point. We've now had anti-bullying weeks since 2004, so I think young people are much more used to being told they need to report and not suffer in silence. And as technology evolves, and so do the new platforms, it's likely that therefore some of the experience that maybe happened once offline are now happening online.
How hard is it for children who are being bullied in cyberspace? What kind of impact does it have on their lives?
What we find at the charity the Diana Award is that often this playground drama can become digital drama, and it can be very public, it can have a big audience, and therefore the impact can be quite detrimental. So young people can say that this sort of bullying can follow them around, and it can be incredibly hard to deal with, because whereas once this used to stop when you left perhaps the school gates, now it's following young people and children into their bedrooms, and it's becoming an issue that they're having to deal both at home and at school.
It is quite difficult to stop, isn't it? Now, of course, if your child's being bullied at school as a parent, you would say to them, tell me about it, talk to me about it, we'll talk to the school, we'll sort this out. But what can parents do if their child's being cyberbullied?
So we're here today at Alexandra Palace with 300 young people and teachers, and we've actually got some of the biggest social media companies: Google, YouTube, Facebook, Ask.FM and Vodafone. They're all here, and the important thing to remember is, just like you can speak out about bullying in the real world, all of these platforms, these technologies, these social media companies, they all have safety centres, they all have real human beings that look at every single report, and it's important that we don't forget that and we don't suffer in silence, because there is something that can be done when it comes to abuse online, and it's just remembering that, and that's an important conversation that parents need to have with their children, making sure they're aware about how to report, how to mute, how to block, because all of these tools are available.
They are available, aren't they? But you know, when you're young and you're vulnerable and you're not potentially mentally very strong, it can be incredibly damaging, can't it? Because, as you say, the fact is that it's coming into your bedroom, it's coming possibly into your bed in the evening when you're on your smartphone. It takes quite a strong 14-year-old perhaps to say, oh well, I'll just block this person, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't work like that, does it?
I think that's a really, really good point. It's difficult to say, well, I'm going to block that person and that's the solution. That isn't the only solution. The really important thing is having that conversation, because what a lot of young people tell us is that the moment they speak out and they discuss what's going on, and they talk about the options, things can get a lot better. But all of these social media companies have a responsibility, they have a duty of care. We're seeing new platforms come out all the time. So it's crucial that we're educating parents, because unfortunately we're leaving behind a lot of those parents, those teachers, those professionals that deal with children on a day-to-day basis, and they aren't upskilled to deal with some of the technological issues that children are facing. So it's so important that we're all educated and we're all aware of some of the things we can do online, and that social media companies, schools, the government, teachers and charities like the Diana Award are working together, because this isn't going away, this problem, and technology certainly isn't going away.
Do you think the social media networks should be doing more? Are they doing enough?
I think there's always more to be done, and I think the social media companies that we have here today at the event are very aware that they can do more, and they constantly are doing more. They have big safety teams that look at safety and read every single report. But the fact of the matter is that more and more young people are engaging with technology and social media, so therefore there's more and more work to be done, particularly on platforms that serve populations which are bigger than some countries. It's a mammoth task, and there's still work to be done, but we are certainly seeing all of these social media companies working very hard and taking this as a priority, and it's important to them. They have big dedicated teams that are looking into this 24/7, around the clock and around the globe.
We talked about parents and how difficult it is if this is happening to your child, but a large part of the problem is the technology, isn't it? We all know the indignity of having a 7-year-old show us how to operate our television or something. Yes. But for parents, if their child is being cyberbullied, it's entirely possible their child is hiding it from them entirely. And it's also entirely possible that the parents have no idea what on earth it is. You know, what is Snapchat to a lot of older people, whereas to young people it may be the main way that they communicate. How can you increase knowledge amongst parents? It's all well and good that, you know, the people coming along to this event today, but most parents clearly are not, and most parents clearly don't understand a lot of the technology. How can parents better understand and better learn?
I think if you're a parent watching this now, Sky News, it's so important that you have the conversation before something goes wrong. So make sure you are understanding what sort of platforms your children are using. Make sure you are aware of some of the basic functions of reporting, of blocking, and of being able to look into some of these issues. But I think the really, really important thing is not to be afraid to have that conversation, because all of us are catching up with technology, and new things such as virtual reality are just around the corner. But it's so important that we have that conversation very early on. And remember, as a parent, you have a support network. So you may face a problem or a worry or concern, or you might not understand what's going on with your child. Don't forget the other parents that are in exactly the same situation as you and can provide some advice and support. And ultimately, I suppose, the internet is a great source of support. It has so many answers out there, so don't be afraid to find that answer, search for the solution, because they're out there. There's a lot of support out there. It's just about finding it, having that conversation, and not suffering in silence. There are lots of people going through this that can help and support you as a parent.
Okay, Alex Holmes, good to talk to you today. Thanks very much.